I was trying so hard to do the right things for my kids. You would go to the doctor's visits and the pediatrician would say, raise your children on a love of water. And it turned out that that was the worst thing I probably could have done for my kids. So the story broke in June of 2017. I was just reading through the news and read there was high levels of this toxin in our tap water coming from a former DuPont facility.
Residents on the Cape Fear River have been dealing with the discovery of an unregulated chemical,
perfluorinated chemicals, more commonly known as PFAS.
Harmful forever chemicals.
Manufacturers like 3M and DuPont. It's in nonstick pans, food containers, fabric protectant.
They persist in the environment and have been linked to health hazards.
PFAS is an acronym for a very large class of chemicals known as per- and polyfluoroalkyl substances. At latest count, there are thousands of individual PFAS.
PFOA,
C8,
PFAS,
Gen X.
PFAS are created by manufacturers like DuPont and its spinoff Chemours. We found out about it with the rest of the public that Chemours have been contaminating our river, our drinking water, and our air for nearly 40 years.
It was a nightmare. DuPont is like 5 miles away from the school. I felt like, what are we going to do for our students? What am I going to do? Because I drink water all of the time. They eased into it. It's okay. You can drink this much and be okay. And is this and what does that mean? Can I drink the water or not?
We were struggling just to find toxicity data because obviously as a mom, the first thing I want to know is, what did I just give my kids? What does this mean? Is this why my friend is suffering from cancer? Is this why this kid, died? Is this why, my husband got a brain tumor? Is this why? Comores came and held a closed-door meeting with local leaders, and we just realized in that closed-door meeting the community was not getting answers.
PFAS are known as multi-system toxicants. Almost every system that's been evaluated, some scientist somewhere has identified an effect.
A class of chemicals that studies have linked to kidney and liver cancer, thyroid problems, high cholesterol, birth defects, and pregnancy complications.
I believe with all of my heart that I could have put off being a dialysis patient if I hadn't been drinking the contaminated water. That's like a huge thing. I feel like I had some time left, but that's where I'm at.
You have 500,000 residents living downstream that rely on the Cape Fear River as their primary source of drinking water. And Comores is still being allowed to discharge. I think what's been the hardest in this whole entire fight is to see, why isn't the EPA protecting me? Why isn't the state protecting me? Like, why is this polluter able to get away with releasing these chemicals?
We're all just drinking this water while these companies continue to make billions and billions of dollars. And it's appalling.
There are children who don't have a mother right now. One of my dear friends just passed away 2 weeks ago. In another community, would she still be here today? Watching her daughter graduate from high school. It's these real hurts that are happening in this community.
Chemours held a public meeting tonight to explain the company's plans for expansion at its Bladen County facility.
They wanted to gloss over it, they wanted to dominate the conversation, and they weren't very receptive to asking questions, and they had absolutely no answers when we did ask questions.
I'm one of those impacted individuals. That scar is a thyroidectomy, which is not in my family history.
So he was born very premature, and my pregnancy complications were possibly associated with my PFAS exposure. And who's not going to be paying for my hospital bills? Chemours.
The chemical industries themselves have 50 years worth of data showing we think this stuff is dangerous. A good neighbor would have said, hey, our scientists told us this stuff is killing people. We're going to stop manufacturing it. That's not what they're doing. They're actually expanding the facility. At the same time, they're spitting out commercials and a huge PR campaign claiming that they're good neighbors.
Good neighbors care. At Comores, we care.
A good neighbor would close that facility down.
Center for Environmental Health and our community partners have filed a petition with the EPA to require Chemours to fund a comprehensive research program. It's time for Chemours to pay up.
This is a multi-billion-dollar corporation, and kids are struggling to find clean drinking water. There's something wrong there.
At this point, there are no PFAS that are regulated by the federal government. We want an epidemiological study of this region to determine whether or not the health impacts in this region are related to PFAS. With more health studies, these companies know the EPA can't continue to handhold them. They're going to have no backing to say that these chemicals are safe.
On one level, companies like Chemours are saying PFAS is safe, it's okay. And then on the other level, they're saying, but wait, don't study them. So which is it? Are they safe? Then prove that with data. You should willingly want to participate in these studies with us. Makes me wonder, what do you have to hide? What are you afraid of?
I think they would be worried about what they're going to find out. I think they already know. We just want to help our community. I think that they should be responsible and pay. We are afraid, but then we also have to be fearless. We don't have a choice. I'm hoping that the situation gets fixed for real, for our community, for ourselves, for our future.